Bilbo awoke late the next morning, after Gandalf's visit. He was relieved to see that the dwarves had left too, and hopefully had forgotten all about him. It was only when he was sitting down for breakfast, when Gandalf came rushing in, and told Bilbo that Thorin and the dwarves were waiting for him down by the Green Dragon Inn. Rushing at his door, forgetting everything, Bilbo made his way down to the Green Dragon, and there waiting were all the dwarves. He explained his lateness, but they didn't care, as the journey had begun and their spirits were high. So they set out on a fine morning of May, Bilbo wearing a green hood and a dark green cloak that he had borrowed from Dwalin the dwarf. Bilbo sulked a lot of the way as they headed east, further and further away from his home, and further from the breakfast he was forced to leave behind. Much time went by before Gandalf showed up again, on the back of a beautiful white horse, laden with pocket handkerchiefs, Bilbo's pipe, and tobacco, making Bilbo much happier, as he'd forgotten all of these things. The company was tormented by rain as they moved on and on down the quiet country road. It was nightfall, when things were at their grimmest, when they had lost food down a river, when they noticed something up ahead. A light, perhaps a fire, they thought to themselves. As the company's proclaimed burglar, endorsed by Gandalf, Bilbo was forced to creep up ahead and find out what the light was all about. Bilbo discovered, to his horror, 3 horrible trolls eating mutton. But instead of going back to his companions and warning them, Bilbo took it upon himself to prove his ability as a burglar and try and rob one of the purses from the trolls. But they heard him and grabbed him. They began to interrogate Bilbo, but it wasn't long before they had started to fight among themselves. It was in this moment Balin, one of the dwarves, crept in from the bushes and tried to save Bilbo. But in the confusion, one of the trolls noticed him, and he was captured and tied up in a sack. One by one, each dwarf came into the clearing, trying to save their friends, and one by one they were captured by the trolls, who were now hiding in the trees. But being trolls, it didn't take them long before they were arguing about how they were going to cook them. It was in the confusion of this fight that Gandalf had arrived, and using a wizard trick to throw his voice, he pretended he was one of the trolls, and he kept them arguing until dawn. And before the trolls could run and hide, the sunlight captured them, and they were turned to stone. Rescuing the dwarves and Bilbo, Gandalf and company made their way to the trolls' cave, and there they found weapons and food. Once they had taken what they needed, they made their way back to their ponies, and once again continued on their journey, heading east.